Hi guys, let's make a video how to patch the patch. At some point in time you'll end up with a functionality that you find online, a file, a div file. You want to patch it and it comes back as failed or rejected, an REJ file, and what to do then. I've made another video where I use folders and copy paste everything and then compare and all that, and then moved on, right? That was the analysis, how does it work, and then wanted to script everything, and that's now the github.com/ericdubois/dwm, and we run this script that is already open, and then we patch immediately on the git clone from DWM. It's on the official one, but sometimes the patches do not work, so we need to patch the patches. Let's try for the 5th time to make a video about that, right? Each time there was an interruption or there was something going wrong. So we've got ourselves a new folder, the patched patches, and when you run your script, this one, you get the official DWM with the official patches. If it doesn't work, we need to patch it again, the patch, and run that one. Okay, so how do I do that? So so we already fixed this one, and we told him patch 8 is gonna be the patched patches. So let's do exit 1 here. Here we stop with our work, exit 1. And we try to patch the official patch. The official patch is this one. Control A, Control C, escape. So after that patch, patch me patches, that's the folder, patches, and then that one, save. So this is patch number 8. We can copy paste this, Control C in here. But that's the official patch, and then we stop and we see what happens. That's my workflow for the moment, right? So if I build everything again, I'm going from scratch again. Always good the idea to clean up. No, not that one, Eric. But the build, it's gonna go all the motions. He's getting the official diffs, and we get a patch 8, which is failed, right? 1 out of 3 hunks failed, and that's number 8. So this one does not cut it. And why? Because these patches have been created on the default DWM. In the meantime, there are already 6, 7 patches applied. So yeah, he can't figure out anymore what to do with what. So we need to analyze, use our brain, and create our own patch for it. Okay, so we have this, which is okay, right? The message is self-restart okay. This is the problem, config def h, and that's the only thing we need to remember. So let's go in here. Config def h, there's only one reject, check it out. All the others do not have REJ, but there is a self restart, so that is okay. That's part of this project, right? But this one is the problem, and the problem is it needs to find a place where to include the line number 7. You need to use your brain. You need to manually do the following step. This needs to be included. Where? Control C, and remember the word here, static key. It's not called static key. It's called static constant key. So it doesn't get it, and it has to be here. Save. So it is indeed XP spawn and all that. Spawn. We have changed to the P. But voila. So why is this happening? Because he can't figure it out. We changed it manually. We put it in here manually. We can actually build at this point in time, but that's not the point of the exercise. I want to have a script that is going to build itself automatically on current version, of course, 6.5. So what I need is for him to take a look at the, let's kill this one, to take a look at this one and that one. The only thing it needs to do is include this. That's all it needs to do. And down here, this one. That's it. Plus self restart. If I can manage that, and I have a file, a diff file, then I can apply it. So it's not that much, and there's something specific. This is very specific. It's a file that did not exist, and suddenly there's a file, self restart. So that's something special. What we need is knowledge about diff. So man diff, have a look. The only thing to remember is the U. Where are you? U. Right, the U somewhere. Enfin, you go look, the U. And diff, another thing to remember is start with the original, the one that is not changed, and the last one is the one that is changed. So the one that's not changed is config dev h original, and then what is changed is the one that we've copy pasted the code into. That's that one. When I press enter, you see the code here. So it's a good check. So plus self restart, and here plus self restart. Where? From there to there. What day? This day, that hour. I need to have that in a file, so I'm gonna pipe it or send it to test diff. That's what I always call it, test diff. Okay, so that code is now in here. This is much better in here because then we see the green bits, extra, and the red bit needs to go out. It's a minus. Now there is still the matter of the self restart. What I need to do as well is say diff minus u, and that's something you need to know, otherwise you say, how can I compare nothing with something? I need to have self restart.c, and that's this device null. Compare nothing with self restart.c, and then you can have a look, of course, enter, but we need to send that to test diff. And if I use one greater than, it's going to be overwritten. But when I send two greater than, it's going to be added. So these lines come next to it and say there's nothing, and from nothing comes into existence a file called self restart. So this is the fix. This is the fix. Test diff is our fix. Control X. This needs to go in the patched patches. Control V. And I've made already the exercise, like I said, been trying to make some videos, and each time there was something, right? So the same thing, exactly the same thing, except of course, when did I make it? So 813, 834, 836. Okay. So that's it. What we now need to do, we've figured that out. So this one can go, it's the same thing, just hours and minutes and all that. Close without saving, and this one can go, that one can go. What I now need to say is what's in here. Don't use the official patch. Don't use the guy in here, but use the guy that's coming from here. So when we run our script, this one gets copied in here, and we tell them to use the patched patches. the patched patches. And that's basically it, right? So this one was testing. Official patch did not work. This one is coming from our patch, the way we create our own test.diff and then just rename it to a date. It's actually the 7th. Okay, 7th, but think about it. The 7th, eh? Now watch out where I do it, because I did it wrong. It needs to be changed here. Eh? That one gets copy pasted over to the folder. Last but not least, it has already been done, I think, but well, first of all, let's build. So we are in here, okay. Let's start from scratch. So we did not do an exit -1. This is that one, that is that one, and there is no exit 1 anywhere. Control find. Well, they can be gray, that's no problem. They will not be used, but we're going ahead with the build. If we go for, let's see if I'm the right folder. Yeah, I think I am. Right level, build. Okay, let's build it and see if it's completely okay. Patch 8 applied, our patched patch applied. So we have here patch 8, self restart C. And the last thing I always have to check after creating a patch is what I say up here, changing my personal preferences, and I remind myself, compare your custom config dev custom h with config dev h. So I want to change, even after all that patching, I still want to change some smaller things, not much, but smaller things. Like the gaps, I don't like it. So from this is the official one to the right, I want 10 here, I want monospace a bit bigger, font a little bit bigger. Never know why they don't want it 50-50, it's 55 and then 45, right? Vertical split or not. And then the mod mask, Alt or Super. I want Super, ST, thank you, but Alacrity is also good. And we got the cycle, the commas and the periods that don't work on QWERTY, so PNM. And let's look at the self-start, check, right? Self-start is there. And the other one that we needed was a self-restart C. Those are the things that were changed, plus the extra file. All right. So that's good, the way it is. Because we change, after all the patching, we're gonna change it again automatically. We compare these two guys. It creates a to be changed diff. What you saw in melt is exactly what happens here. Remove this, replace it by this, remove this, replace it by that. The monospace too small, go for 12, right? So the things you saw in melt are now in a diff. All I need to do is move that diff to here to apply it again on this one, and I've got myself a personalized DWM. That's currently my way of doing things. There's still a lot of patches to be done and to be visited, for sure. And if you have advice, say, okay, this one is good, that one is good, as they should work on 6.5, because we saw that patches come and go, right? They just seem to disappear from their website. So yeah, give us a URL so where we can find it, and then we can give it a go and maybe incorporate it or maybe not. It is in the end a workflow thing. If you get the way I do things and it resonates, then maybe you say, ah yeah. I don't know if this is the best way. Maybe you can give me some other videos. I've watched tons of videos on DWM on YouTube, but maybe there is one I missed that I say you should really see that one. That's another approach of doing things. So, right, we're here to learn. You from me, I from you, and voila, having fun. Cheers.